Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing. Don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today, man, on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about NXT for July 13th, 2021, man. Now, man, with this show, man, this is a good show, man. Good show. Yeah, some great segments on the show with LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. I love that stuff. The main event, was probably the most important thing on the show. That was probably the only match on the show that I was looking forward to. You know, and the entire show was built around this match, the NXT Championship match with Kross and Gargano and Joe as the referee and all that stuff. It's just like with this show, man, we had a lot of moving parts in this show, a lot of moving parts in the storylines and all that stuff. I did have some questions about certain stuff on the show, but I'm gonna get into that later. And yeah, man. So yeah, that was pretty much it with NXT, man. All the other matches, the women's match it was good. The first match on the show it was good, and all these other matches, some of the matches I didn't really care about, but I do have a few matches that I did care about. The women's match, the breakout tournament match was good. Of course, the main event was great too. But yeah, that was pretty much it with NXT. And so yeah, so yeah, this is the NXT review on the Ryan Awesome Show for July 13th, 2021. And just like what I said in my intro, man, if you haven't done this already, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to the subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell, and you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, man. So yeah, so we started off NXT with a women's match. It was Ember Moon versus Dakota Kai with Raquel Gonzalez, who is the NXT Women's Champion, in her corner. So yeah, so Ember Moon, she did not have Shotzi Blackheart, so Shotzi Blackheart was not there, or Shotzi, because she got called up to the main roster on SmackDown on last Friday. So they cut away her last name. They took away the Blackheart part. They just called her Shotzi, so her name is just Shotzi. And so I was like, man, why would they take away her last name? That's what I was thinking, man. Like, why would they take away her last name? Shotzi Blackheart. That's her name, Shotzi Blackheart. But yeah, they called her up, and they called up Tegan Knox and Toni Storm. So yeah, so Tegan Knox and Shotzi Blackheart tag team on SmackDown. Not really a fan of it. And then you call them up when they're in the middle of a storyline, dude. That's not right, man. That is not right. But yeah, but anyway, man. So yeah, so Ember Moon versus Dakota Kai, where Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion, in her corner. So yeah, so both of these ladies, they try to out wrestle each other. And we had a running corner boot to Moon, and she kicked out. We had a pump kick to Moon. And so yeah, so Kai, she had took control of the match at that point. And so we had a tope suicida to Dakota Kai, which was nasty, man. You know, the like the back of her head, man, hit the plexiglass, so that was nasty. So yeah, we had a drop kick to Kai off the ring apron, and then Kai she had to control the match during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And so Moon she started to fight back. We had a pump kick followed up by a double underhook suplex to Kai, and we had a springboard crossbody to Dakota Kai. And so, at that point, Moon she had tripped up on the ropes at one point, but she ended up hitting the move anyway. So that's great recovery from Ember Moon. And then we had a haluva kick. So that's a haluva kick to Ember Moon in a corner. And so Kai she had hit a spin and reverse DDT. Yeah, she had hit a spin and reverse DDT to Moon. And so at that point, you had Raquel Gonzalez. She was talking trash to Ember Moon outside the ring, saying that you're nothing without Shotzi. You're nothing without Shotzi Blackheart. And so, yeah, we had a drop kick to Kai on a top rope. And we had a top rope hurricanrana to Dakota Kai. And so right after that, we had the end of the match. We had Dakota Kai. She had a finishing move, the go-to kick on Ember Moon to win the match. And that was it, man. Really good match. Really good match to start off the show, man. Really good match. And, it was a must win. It was a must win for Dakota Kai, man. Because Kai, man, it feels like with Dakota Kai, it's like every time that she's in a match, it feels like she either overshadowed or loses in the match. And so, yeah, so Dakota Kai, she won the match. And so right after that, yeah, Xia Li, her theme music had played. So she walked out to the ring. And, Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez was in the ring. And so Lee had gotten in the ring. She had walked past Dakota Kai and she got right into Raquel Gonzalez's face. And so Lee, she had challenged Raquel Gonzalez to a match for the NXT Women's Championship. And so Gonzalez, she had held up her title. She held up her title and she accepted the match. And so Xia Li, she leaves the ring. So we will get a title match with Raquel Gonzalez and Xia Li next week. And I don't know why. I don't know why Xia Li getting a championship match that quickly. I don't know why. And that shot should be going to Io Shirai. Even though Io Shirai is the NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, she still deserves a rematch. She never gotten a rematch back. Never gotten a rematch. So that should be Io Shirai's spot. That should be her spot. And Xia Li, yeah, she beaten Mercedes Martinez, I guess, at TakeOver. And, she didn't really beat her in that last match, that tag team match, or whatever they had when she knocked out Mercedes Martinez legit. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why Xia Li is getting a match. I don't know. I really don't know. But, yeah, so Xia Li, she is getting a match with Raquel Gonzalez for the championship. And, yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah, dude, she's not ready yet. But yeah, she just jumped in the middle of the line. She jumped right in front of the line. She jumped right in front of the line. But yeah, but who wins? Who wins the match? Raquel Gonzalez and Xia Li. Raquel Gonzalez all the way. She will win. And so yeah, so right after that we had a backstage segment from McKenzie Mitchell. She interviews Diamond Mine. So that's Roderick Strong, Malcolm Bivens, Tyler Rust, and Suzuki. I don't know. I don't remember his first name, but I'm gonna call him by his last name, Suzuki. And so yeah, so Bivens, he was talking about Diamond Mine, and he was hyping up his guys. And so yeah, he was talking, and then you had Bobby Fish had interrupted, and he wanted to fight Roderick Strong. So Bobby Fish came out, he wanted to fight Roderick Strong, and so Bivens, he had told Fish like, hey, you're not gonna fight him. You're not gonna fight Roderick Strong. You're gonna fight Tyler Rust first. And so yeah, later that night it was Bobby Fish versus Tyler Rust, and we still haven't gotten an explanation of why they are together. They're just talking about the group. That's it. But yeah, that was it with that. So it was Tyler Rust versus Bobby Fish later on that night. And so yeah, so right after that we had LA Knight with Cameron Grimes to the moon. Cameron Grimes. So yeah, this is the first night as Cameron Grimes as the Butler. So Cameron Grimes, he had lost his match the last time they fought at the Great American Bash, and so if Grimes lost, he would have been Knight's Butler. So this is his first night as the Butler. So yeah, this stuff was good, man. I enjoyed this stuff. This stuff was funny. So yeah, so LA Knight, he was waiting for Grimes to come. You know, LA Knight, he had the championship, the $1 million championship. And so, yeah, so Knight, he was complaining that Grimes had came late. And so Grimes, he said that he was ready to work. And, you know, instead of saying, I'm going straight to the moon, he said, I'm going straight for the broom. And so, yeah. So Grimes was ready to work. But Knight, he had told Grimes, like, before you do anything, you need to get fixed up first. You need to get cleaned up first. So we had a barber. So we had a barber had gave Cameron Grimes a trim. So he trimmed all his, you know, his beard hair, or his beard and his hair. And so, yeah, so he has the trim look. And so Grimes, he had a suit on, a black and white suit. And so Knight, you know, he was bragging on how good he looks and all that stuff. And you had Knight, he had told Cameron Grimes that he looks like a penguin with that suit on. And so LA Knight, he had sent Cameron Grimes to work. And so that was it with that. And so, yeah, so right after that, man, we had Tyler Rust with Diamond Mine, Roderick Strong, Malcolm Bivens, and Suzuki versus Bobby Fish, man. I feel absolutely bad for Bobby Fish. Absolutely bad for Bobby Fish, man. So, yeah, so first off, man, we had Bobby Fish. He didn't get no entrance. He didn't get no entrance at all. Like, right after we got finished with the Cameron Grimes stuff, Bobby Fish, he was already in the ring. He was already in the ring. So, yeah, man, they doing him wrong, man. They doing him dirty. So, yeah, so pretty much this match was a squash match, man. It was an absolute squash match. Really didn't have that many, really didn't have much in the match. But yeah, so Rusty had went right after Fish's bad arm. And so Fish, he started kicking Rust. And so we had an exploder suplex to Rust on the ropes, like into the ropes. And so at that point, Roddy, he had got on the ring apron to try to distract Bobby Fish. And so, yeah, he did end up distracting Bobby Fish. And so Rusty had kicked Fish. I think it was a buzzsaw kick, or whatever it was. So Bobby Fish to win the match. So Tyler Rust wins the match. And so right after the match, you had Diamond Mine. They tried to gang up on Bobby Fish. And you had Kushida. Kushida had came out and he chased off Diamond Mine. And that was it, man. That was it with that, man. Bobby Fish, man, he is the only member of the Undisputed Era that has nothing going for him right now. Like, he really doesn't. You have Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly doing their own thing. You know, they pushing Kyle O'Reilly as a singles guy. And Adam Cole, of course, was the star of the group. You have Roderick Strong right now leading the group. He's in his own faction, Diamond Mine. And Bobby Fish doing nothing. Nothing. And so, man, I was like, man, I don't remember when I said it, but I remember saying this, though. Bobby Fish, when the Undisputed Era breaks up, Bobby Fish is going to be the only person that suffers from it. He's going to be the only person that's going to suffer for it. That's not going to succeed. And, you know, they separated him. You know, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, they were a great tag team. They were great together instead of them being singles. Like, they should, like, Fish and O'Reilly should be back together. Fish and O'Reilly should be back together, not as the Undisputed Era, but as a different name, I guess, a Red Dragon or something. And just have them go after the tag team titles, man, because they were great together. And Bobby Fish right now, Bobby Fish as a singles guy, man, it's not gonna work out. And a lot of people, they see Kyle O'Reilly not as a singles guy. So that's another reason why you should put these guys back together, man. But yeah, man. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Fish. I really don't know. But he is not gonna make it as a singles. He's not. Absolutely not. So yeah, so right after that we had Samoa Joe. He was backstage. He had spoke to Karrion Kross, the NXT champion, with Scarlett. So yeah, so Kross, he was training for his match. He was punching a punching bag, getting ready for his match. And so Joe, he was dressed in his referee shirt, and he came to Kross explaining the rules of the match. And so Joe, he had told Kross, like, hey, do you understand me? Do you understand what I'm saying? And so Kross, he was ignoring Joe. He didn't want to hear what Joe had to say, so Kross was still punching a punching bag. And so Joe, he was mad, so he kicked the punching bag. And so Joe, he had gotten Kross's face. He said, I asked you a question. Is that understood? And so Kross, he had said that, you know, Joe, if you screw me over in this match, you'll be dealt with. And that was it, man. That was it. I love the face-to-face, man, with Kross and Joe, man. It is a foreshadowing, man. A foreshadowing of what's going to happen, dude. When Joe finally gets cleared, that could probably be his first match. Probably. But I would not have him beat Kross. I wouldn't have him beat Kross. But it'll be a potential match. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that we had Beth Phoenix. So yeah, first off we had the way that came in to the arena, and so you had a bunch of the camera crew try to ask the way questions, and so they said no answers, no comments rather no comments, and so you had Indi Hartwell who was falling behind, who was left behind, and so you had Beth Phoenix. She had went to go talk to Indi Hartwell, and she had asked Indi Hartwell like, what happened with you and Lumis? What happened with you and Dexter Lumis last week? And so Hartwell, she said that Lumis was a gentleman, and last week he was a gentleman from carrying me to the back, and he just sat me down. That's it. That's all that happened. And so Phoenix, she had told Hartwell sometimes you have to take a chance, like make your move, make your move. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a match. It was Gigi Dolan versus Sarray. And so yeah, so both of these ladies they're going back and forth, and they were fighting and all that stuff. And so right in the middle of the match, you had Mandy Rose from Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or whatever show she's on, the main roster. So yeah, so Mandy Rose she had showed up on the stage, and I was like, what? I was like, man, what is Mandy Rose doing here? What is Mandy Rose doing here? And so the crowd started chanting, "You don't go here, you don't go here." And so yeah, so we had Sarray, she had locked in a Muda lock to Dolan, and so she had the submission hold locked in, dude. And Dolan, it looked like she tapped out. It looked like she tapped out a little bit. It looked like she tapped out, and so Sarray she had let go of the hold, but they was still fighting, and so I thought that was weird, man. I thought that was really strange. And so yeah, so Dolan ended up fighting back. She had an STO to Sarray, and so Sarray had hit Dolan with a drop kick, a sitting drop kick right in the face. She squared her right in the face. And so they even played it in replay, dude. They even played it in replay of her getting caught in the face with that drop kick. And so yeah, we had a back suplex. I don't know what it was. A back suplex to Dolan from Sarray to win the match. So Sarray wins the match. And at that point, like when I first saw Mandy Rose, I was like, why is Mandy Rose here? Like her showing up was just random. Like she showed up during the middle of this match. I was like that's weird. That was random, really random. And so yeah, but we did ended up finding out like why we wish she was there, but I'm gonna get into that later. And so yeah, so right after that we had a backstage segment from Legado del Fantasma that Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza. So they spoke. And so yeah, so Escobar he was talking about the NXT North American Championship, his desire on getting the NXT North American Championship, and he talked about Bronson Reed losing the championship to Isaiah Swerve Scott. And so yeah, so Legado del Fantasma they talked about Hit Row's performance last week, their championship performance last week. And so Wilde has said that it was an embarrassment and all that stuff, and he also said that Swerve was off beat when he was rapping. And so Escobar, he turned his focus to Dexter Lumis because he was fighting Dexter Lumis later on that night. And so he had called Lumis a loser. And he said that he will beat Dexter Lumis tonight. He will beat Dexter Lumis tonight. And, he said that he will always be, Escobar says that he will always be on the right side of history. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, so right after that, we had the match. We had the match with Dexter Lumis versus Santos Escobar with Legado del Fantasma in his corner, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza. So, yeah, this is good. This is good, too, man. So, yeah, so we had Escobar. He tried to get Dexter Lumis to flinch, but Dexter Lumis, he didn't flinch at all. And so, yeah, so he had that stone face look. And so, Lumis, he had a death press to Escobar. And so, Lumis, he tried to drag Escobar under the ring. So at that point, Lumis he was under the ring, and he tried to pull Escobar under the ring, but Legado del Fantasma dragged him away from Lumis. And so we had chops to Lumis. We had a top rope hurricanrana to Lumis, and he kicked out. And so Escobar he tried to go for the three amigos, the three amigos. He tried to go for the three amigos to Lumis, but Escobar only hit two amigos. And so we had a backstabber to Lumis. We had a bulldog facebuster to Escobar. And so Dexter Lumis, he locked in a submission move to silenced on Escobar. And so Mendoza, he was outside the ring, so he dragged Escobar outside of the ring to break up the hold. And so Wilde, so the referee was distracted by that. So yeah, Joaquin Wilde, he had pulled Dexter Lumis into the ring post, so he smashed Dexter Lumis into the ring post behind the referee's back. And so to end the match, we had the Phantom Driver. We had the Phantom Driver to Lumis to win the match. So Santos Escobar wins the match. And that was it, man. That was it. Good match, but I would have done without the interferences. Man. But yeah, it was a big win. Big win for Escobar, man. Dexter Lumis, you normally don't see him lose, man. It's a rarity that he lose, but it's a huge win. A huge win from Dexter. A huge win from Escobar, man, off of Dexter Lumis. And so they are setting up Escobar to be a next challenger for Isaiah Scott in the North American Championship. And so right after the match, Hit Row. Hit Row. They confronted Legado del Fantasma on the stage, and so both of these factions they are arguing, jaw jacking each other, talking smack to each other, and that was it, man. So Legado del Fantasma they leave, and that was it, man. So so just like what I said, Escobar is probably the next contender for Swerve. It's a heel versus a heel match, but Isaiah Scott he's gonna win. He's gonna continue to win the match because he just won the title. And so that was it with that. And so right after that, man, right after the match we had Wade Barrett. So Wade Barrett, or Bad News Barrett, whatever you want to call him, he interviewed Kyle O'Reilly. So they were backstage, they talked. So Barrett had asked Kyle O'Reilly about his match against Adam Cole from last week at the Great American Bash. And Kyle O'Reilly, he had said something about losing is a part of our sport, or is a part of life. He said losing is a part of life. And so O'Reilly, he still wants Adam Cole. He still wants a match with Adam Cole. He's beaten him before, and he just said that he has to beat him because he's beaten him before. And he continued to say that I need to beat Adam Cole. I need to beat Adam Cole. I want this rematch. I need to beat Adam Cole. And so that was it. And so I was like, another match, man. I was sensing another match too. But I don't want to see another match. That's the thing. I don't want to see another match. It's the same rematch. It's a rematch after rematch after rematch. But I see why they did the rematch because they have a victory over each other. One and one. So, another thing, Adam Cole he had pointed out in his promo, the unsanctioned match win doesn't even count. It doesn't even count because it's unsanctioned. So that's a great point. Touche. But he still beat you. He still beat you in the match. So it's still 1-on-1, 1-and-1. So, but I don't want to see another match. I don't want to see another match with these guys. They already they done enough, man. I don't know what else they can do. What else can they do? Don't even know. But yeah, man. But in this match though, they might do a stipulation. It might make it because it is a rubber match, man. Because right after this, you can't do any more rematches. You cannot do any more rematches. I thought the Great American Bash was the last time they'll fight, but man, this should be the last one, man. This should be the last one. Right after that, no more shots, no more rematches, no more rematches. So it might be a stipulation. What stipulation it is? Probably a loser leaves town, a loser leaves NXT, or something like that. Because Adam Cole, man, believe it or not, man, he will get called up to the main roster. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. I do not want that to happen because they will ruin Adam Cole. Man. So it might be a loser leaves town, and Adam Cole will lose the match, and so he will be forced to leave NXT, and he might be a part of the draft if there is a draft. I don't think. Well, is it? I don't even watch Raw and SmackDown, so I don't even know. But I think there is a draft. So he might get drafted to either Raw or SmackDown. He'll probably go on Raw. But that was it with that. And so right after that we had LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. So this is the second part of their skit, the Butler skit. So Grimes he was not in his outfit. He took his clothes off. He was sitting back in the lawn chair. He was chillaxing. And he had the drinks. Too. And so, oh no, that was the last part. That was the last video. So first off, we had Grimes. He was in the middle of the yard. So So Knight he wanted Cameron Grimes to mow his lawn, and so it was a huge, it was a big yard, and so yeah, so Grimes he went right after the tractor mower, because that's used to cut, a larger area, and so yeah, he tried to go for the tractor mower, but Knight he had told Grimes like, hey, you're not gonna use that, you're gonna use this, pushing lawnmower, the old school, I guess I don't know anything about mowers, but yeah, he went for the pushing mower, the pushing lawnmower, the mini one. And so yeah, so of course that wasn't gonna work anyway. It wasn't gonna work. You're not gonna cut like a huge yard of grass. You're not gonna cut that, like it's a huge yard of grass. You're not gonna cut that with a pushing mower. You can't do that. You'll be tired, man. So yeah, so he was complaining. So Grimes was complaining about having to use that. So he was like, "You expect me to use that thing for this huge yard?" And so yeah, so Knight told him to use the pushing mower because he has to do what Grimes. He has to do what Knight tells him to do. And so yeah, so Grimes he started to mow the lawn, and that was it. That was the end of the segment. And so yeah, so right after the Grimes and LA Knight segment, we had Indi Hartwell. She carried Dexter Lumis away from ringside. So that's the same thing that Dexter Lumis did to Indi Hartwell last week. And so yeah, so Hartwell she carried Dexter Lumis, and at that point I was like, man, she's gonna drop Dexter Lumis. It looked like she about to drop him right now. So she dropped Dexter Lumis, and so Hartwell she tried to go for a kiss on Dexter Lumis. She tried to kiss Dexter Lumis, but Candice LeRae out of nowhere, man, she pushed Indi Hartwell away from Dexter Lumis. So she stopped Indi Hartwell from kissing Dexter Lumis. And so yeah, so Candice LeRae she spoiled the moment. She spoiled the moment of Dexter Lumis and Indi Hartwell index. And so yeah, man, that was it with that. I think the crowd booed. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, man, we had the NXT Breakout Tournament round 1. So yeah, this is good, man. This is good. So yeah, we had Duke Hudson versus Ikemen Jiro. So yeah, so first off with Jiro, man, he wrestles with his blazer. So he wrestles with his blazer on. He doesn't take the blazer off. He wrestles with his blazer on. So yeah, so Jiro he tried to use his speed against Hudson. And so Hudson he had overpowered Jiro. And so yeah, so Hudson he took control of the match, the early parts of the match. And so Jiro he had locked in a tarantula on the rope to Hudson. Shades to Tajiri, his trainer or his mentor. So yeah, so we had an overhead belly to belly suplex to Jiro. And we had not a European uppercut, but an American uppercut. American uppercut to Jiro, which was nice. And so yeah, so Jiro ended up fighting back. He had a blockbuster on Hudson. And so we had a springboard moonsault to Hudson outside the ring. And so yeah, we had kicks to Hudson. And then to end the match, we had Hudson. He hit the black hole slam or the boss man slam, or the winds of change that Barrett had said, the winds of change to Jiro. So shades of the boss man, Abyss, and Wade Barrett with the winds of change to Jiro to win the match. So yeah, that was it with that. So Duke Hudson wins the match and will advance to the next round of the tournament. So yeah, this is very competitive too, man. Very competitive. Hudson, man, he has a great look, man. Really great look. I think I think he might be one of the guys that might make it in the finals. He might be the guys that make it in the finals. I think Carmelo Hayes will be in the finals too, or the semifinals. But I think Hudson might be one of the guys that end up in the finals. So yeah, so that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that we had McKenzie Mitchell. She interviews Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan. So yeah, so McKenzie she had asked Pete Dunne about his prediction on the NXT Championship match against Kross and Gargano. Who did he think will win the match? And so Dunne he had said that he doesn't care. He doesn't care who wins the match, but all he knows is that he can beat them. He could beat them on a one-on-one match. And so Dunne he has said that he's the most technical wrestler in NXT and the baddest man in NXT. And so you had Toothless Timothy Thatcher. He had interrupted Pete Dunne while he was talking. And so Thatcher he had asked Pete Dunne like, which one is it? Are you the best technical wrestler? Or are you the baddest man in NXT? And so Dunne he had said that, who's asking? And so Ciampa had attacked Pete Dunne. And so the brawl had broke out with Dunne, Lorcan, and Ciampa and Thatcher. So all these guys was fighting each other, and that was it. So we will get a tag team match. I think they announced it for next week, but yeah, we will get a tag team match with Ciampa and Thatcher and Dunn and Larkin, which would be good, man, because all these guys are tough freaking dudes, man. So that should be really good. So yeah, so right after that, we had Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter versus the Robert Stone brand. That's Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea with Robert Stone in their corner. And so yeah, man, I really didn't care about this match. I did not care about this match. And so yeah, we had the heels. They took control of Casey Catanzaro. We had a hot tag to Carter. She took out Aaliyah. And then Casey, she had took out Kamea with a crossbody. We had and in the match, we had an assisted 450 splash to Aaliyah from Casey Catanzaro to win the match. So Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter wins the match. And that was it. And right after the match, we had Aaliyah. Robert Stone, he tried to help up Aaliyah, who was on the ground because she lost. And so, yeah, he had helped her up. And so Aaliyah she had pushed Robert Stone away from her. And then she started pushing him again, and she slapped him in his face, and she started to beat Robert Stone up. And so, yeah, she beat him down. And so Aaliyah, she had left the ring. And so, yeah, Jessica May, who was outside the ring, she had a confused look on her face. She had a confused look on her face, and so she was looking at Aaliyah like, "Hey, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And so, yeah, so Aaliyah had walked away. And so, yeah, so right after that, you had Frankie Monet. She came out. She walked out to the ring, and she whispered something to Jessica Maya. And so Kamea had left with Monet. And so that was it with that. So, yeah, so we will, I guess, a reversion of the Robert Stone brand, I guess. And so, yeah, so right after that, we had Samoa Joe. He spoke to Johnny Gargano with Candice LeRae and Austin Theory in the back. And, yeah, so Joe, he went to go explain the rules to Gargano the same way he explained to Kross. So, to protect yourself, obey my commands, etc., etc. And so Gargano and Theory, they said, no problem, that's easy. We can do that. We can follow the rules because we're law-abiding citizens. And so Gargano and Theory, they sucked up to Samoa Joe and all that stuff. And so Samoa Joe, he left the room in disgust, like he did not want to hear Johnny Gargano and Theory. And so right after Samoa Joe left, he had ran into Pete Dunne. So him and Pete Dunne, they had a stare down. So I thought that was really great too, man. The stare downs with Joe and Kross and Pete Dunne. I love it, dude. I love it. And so yeah, Pete Dunne is another guy, man. Pete Dunne is another guy that I could see Joe in the ring with. Like if Joe get cleared, he's another guy I could see him in the ring with. And so yeah, so right after that we had the final video package of LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. So yeah, so Grimes, so this is the point when Grimes, he was in the chair. He was in the lawn chair, he was chillaxing, had his drink. And so Knight, he had asked Cameron Grimes like, "Hey, why are you not working? Why are you not working?" And so Grimes, he had said, "Yeah, although I'm a butler, I'm still a millionaire." And so you had in the background, you had a kid who was raking the yard. And so Grimes, he paid this kid $500. So as a kid, man, if you get paid $500, man, raking grass, man, or doing grass work or yard work, man, a great job, man, for a kid. $500, man. So yeah, so Grimes was about to pay the kid, but Knight, he had took the money away from Cameron Grimes, and so Knight, he had threw the money on the ground. And so Knight, he had told the kid to scram, like, "Get out of here, kid. We have a no kid section, so get out of here." And so the kid, he was upset. So the kid had kicked LA Knight in the shin. And so LA Knight, he was selling the attack from the kid. And so Grimes, he had the rake that the kid had. And so Grimes, he had took the rake. He started raking the money up. He tried to rake the money up. And so he accidentally knocked knocked LA Knight into the swimming pool. So Knight had fell in the swimming pool. And so, Knight, he was upset that he got knocked in the pool. He was yelling at Cameron Grimes that he done it on purpose. And yeah, he did. He did do it on purpose. And so yeah, that was it, man. That was it. Stuff was really funny, man. Really funny. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Adam Cole, Bebe, came out to the ring. He spoke. And, he said that he's better than Kyle O'Reilly. He's better than Kyle O'Reilly. I proved it at the Great American Bash. I'm better than him. And he called Kyle O'Reilly a loser. Like, Kyle is a loser. And so Adam Cole, he had said that Kyle O'Reilly is making a mistake. He's making a mistake by getting in this ring with me again. And so Cole, he had turned his attention to Samoa Joe, and he talked about his disdain towards Joe and how how he choked out Cole and all that stuff, how he left Cole in the ring, why he got attacked by Kyle O'Reilly and all that stuff. He hates Samoa Joe, and so Cole, he had called Joe a coward, and Cole, he had said that there's not a person on this roster that is man enough to face me. And so you had Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed had came out to his theme music. And so Reed, he had told Cole that, hey, you're a master manipulator. You're a master manipulator to those who have nothing to lose. And so Reed, he had said that he's lost the North American Championship to Isaiah Swerve Scott, but he has nothing to lose. He has nothing to lose. And so Reed, he has said that all eyes are on him. And so Reed, he has said that Cole is his golden opportunity. And so Cole, he was about to attack Bronson Reed, but Reed had caught Adam Cole with a crossbody or a body block or whatever it was. And so Cole, he had left the ring. And so yeah, Samoa Joe had came out, to his theme music because he was getting ready to referee the match with Kross and Gargano. And so yeah, so he stared down Cole. And so yeah, and so at that point you had Joe. He had got in the ring. He was with Bronson Reed. So I thought it was another beautiful sight, man. Joe and Reed in the same ring, dude. They look like they could be brothers, man. They look like they could be related or brothers, man. So yeah, that was it with that, man. Bronson Reed, he should be going after the North American Championship and not Adam Cole. Maybe go after Cole right after you have your rematch with Swerve. That's what I would have done. He has a rematch. He's an older rematch. Why he wasn't going after the title? You know, I said this the last time. Reed, yeah, Swerve, I'm glad that he's a champion. I'm happy for Swerve that he won a championship, but it was still too early, man. It was still too early to take the title off of Bronson Reed. Because, like Reed as the champion, he had a lot of heels. He had a lot of heels to go up against. He could have went up against Dunn. He could have went up against Swerve. Who else? Pete Dunne. And all these other heels that they have on the roster. He could have went up against them. You know? But yeah, they took it off. Yeah, they took it off and they made the match was last minute, dude. The match was last minute. It was last minute. And they had Bronson Reed lose the championship to Isaiah Swerve Scott. So yeah, that was early, man. That was really early, man, really early. And so yeah, but Bronson Reed, he was on a main roster, I think, or a dark match on a main roster, and he fought against somebody. I forgot who it was, but he fought against somebody. So yeah, so Kross and Reed, they were on the main roster, I guess for a tryout match or something like that. So they will be getting called up soon. Bronson Reed, so I'm guessing that's why he lost the championship. But man, Bronson Reed, he does not need to be on the main roster. He don't, man. Like that's their problem, man. They call up too many people from NXT. They call up way too many people up. Like dude, they're not even using the people that they called up. They're not even using the last batch of people that they called up to the main roster. And now you want to call up more people from NXT? Like, dude, how many more people from NXT do you need on the main roster? Oh, I don't know, man. Dude, that don't make no sense. It don't make any sense at all. But Bronson Reed right now, he's safe for right now. So we might have a potential feud with him and Cole. And so yeah, man, that was it with that, man. And so yeah, so right after that we have Frankie Monet, Robert Stone, and Jessica Maya. They spoke. They were backstage. I guess they were being interviewed by somebody off camera. And so Mandy Rose had interrupted them, and she said that the brand is under new management. It looks like the brand is under new management. So Frankie Monet, I guess, is the new leader of the brand, I guess, because week after week she's been trying to talk sense to Jessica Maya and Aaliyah. So Aaliyah, she's by herself, so she wasn't back there with them. And so yeah, so Mandy Rose, will she be a part of the Robert Stone brand? Maybe she will fit with them. She does fit well with them. But yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with them. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, man, that was it with that. And so yeah, so Rose, she got moved back down to NXT. Moved back down to NXT. So yeah, cause she really wasn't doing anything. She really wasn't doing anything on the main roster. She was just tag teaming with Dana Brooke, and that was it. Wasn't doing nothing. She did something with Sonya Deville when they were on SmackDown. They had that feud on SmackDown. I thought that was really good. But they moved her away from Sonya Deville in that feud that she had with Sonya Deville, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, and they moved her to Monday Night Raw. No, well, first off, they broke her away from Sonya Deville. They put them in a feud together, and then they had their match, and then they moved her to Monday Night Raw, and they had a team up with Dana Brooke, and like, dude, it just felt like it was a waste of time. And so yeah, that was it with that. So right before we get to the main event, man, let's talk about next week's show. So we don't have enough. We only have like 3 matches that were announced, or 4 matches, 2, 3, yeah, 3 matches. So yeah, so next week is gonna be a tag team match. It's gonna be Bobby Fish and Kushida, who is the cruiserweight champion of NXT, versus Roderick Strong and Tyler Rust of Diamond Mine, with Suzuki and Malcolm Bivens in their corner. That's next week. And also next week we have NXT Championship match, NXT Women's Championship match. So it's Raquel Gonzalez, who is the NXT Women's Champion, with Dakota Kai in her corner, versus Xia Li with Mei Ying and Boa in her corner. So yeah, still too early, man. Still too early for Xia Li to get a championship match. And so right after that, so also next week we have the continuation of the Breakout tournament. So yeah, we have the Breakout tournament. So the rest of the guys that are still left in the tournament will be competing next week. And so yeah, man, that's it with next week's show. And so right after that, we had the main event, which was the best part on the show, the best match on the show, and probably the only important match on the show. So the NXT Championship match, the match that was built up, the show that was built around this match right here. So NXT Championship match. So it's Johnny Gargano versus Karrion Kross, who is the NXT champion, with Scarlett Bordeaux in his corner. So of course you have Samoa Joe as the guest referee. And so right after the introduction, right after the championship introduction, Gargano, he ran right after Kross before the bell had rung. And then Kross, he started to fight back. We had an exploder suplex to Gargano. We had a super kick to Kross off the ring apron. And you had a tope con hilo off the ring apron. And so we had a big boot to Gargano outside the ring. And so at that point, you had Samoa Joe. He was yelling at Kross to get back into the ring, like bring it back in the ring. And so Kross, he had dropped Gargano on the edge of the announce table. So that had to hurt, man. You don't want to land on the edge of nothing, bro. And that looked like it hurt, man. It looked like it was painful. And so Kross, he had took control of the match during a commercial break. Picture in picture, of course, you guessed it right. And then Kross, he had ran into the ring post because he tried to go after Gargano. He had ran into the ring post. And so Gargano ended up fighting back. He had a series of clotheslines to Kross, but Kross was still standing up. We had an enziguri kick to Kross, and then a slingshot spear to Kross, and he kicked out. A tope suicida to Kross, and we had the crowd chanting Johnny Wrestling. So I did love the crowd reaction in this match. I loved it. We had a Johnny Wrestling chant. So we had kicks to Kross. We had a DDT. So Gargano, he had countered with a DDT. It looked like Kross was going for a power slam, and Gargano had caught him with a DDT, and then Kross had kicked out. We had a choke slam to Kross. A choke slam to Gargano. A choke slam to Kross, really. So a choke slam to Gargano. And we had super kicks to Kross. And then Kross had locked in his cross jacket submission move to Gargano. And then Gargano, he had turned it into the Gargano escape to Kross. So I thought that was a nice transition from Gargano. And so Kross, he had overpowered the Gargano escape. And so we had a straight jacket. We had a straight jacket submission move to Gargano. And then Gargano grabbed the rope. And so when the rope break is on, you have a 5 count to break the hold. And so Joe was counting to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so Joe, he had just pushed. He had grabbed Karrion Kross and just shoved him away from Gargano. And so Kross, he did not like that. Kross did not like that. And so both of these guys, they were staring at each other again. So they stared down at each other. And so Gargano was outside of the ring. And so Kross, he had went outside the ring too. And so Kross, he started bashing Gargano's back of the head into the plexiglass over and over and over again. And so at one point, you had Kross, he tried to use the steel steps. He tried to use the steel steps on Gargano, but Joe had stopped him. So Joe had took the steel steps away from Kross and threw it to the side. And so we had a tope a tope into a DDT from Gargano to Kross. So I thought that was nice. Thought that was a nice spot. And so right after that, Gargano had brought him back into the ring, hit a one final beat to Kross. Kross had kicked out of the one final beat. And so yeah, we had a series of power bombs to Gargano, and then we had a Doomsday Saito suplex to Gargano. And so to end the match, we had Karrion Kross. He had his finishing move, that running back forearm to Gargano in the back of his head to win the match. So Karrion Kross wins the match and is still the NXT champion. So yeah, man, great match, man. Great match. Love the crowd reaction with Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling chants and all that stuff. And so yeah, man. Right after the match, man. Right after the match, we had Joe and Kross. You know, they were still staring at each other. You know, still staring a hole at each other. And so yeah, so Joe, you know, Joe he was in Kross's face, and so Joe he was like, "What up, man? What up? All you gotta do is jump. So go ahead and make your first move. That's all you gotta do is jump. What up? I'm right here. I'm right here." And so yeah, Scarlett was in the middle of this, so Scarlett had to hold Kross back. And so yeah, she held Kross back, and so Joe he tried to lead the ring. So Samoa Joe tried to lead the ring, and so Kross he had locked in a straight jacket. He locked in a cross jacket to Joe, and so he took out Samoa Joe. So Karrion Kross had took out Samoa Joe, and so yeah, that was it. So what is gonna happen to Karrion Kross for putting his hands on Joe, the enforcer for Mr. Regal? Mr. Regal, we did not see Mr. Regal tonight. So Joe is kind of like the general manager tonight. So yeah, but yeah, what's gonna happen, man? What's gonna happen to Kross now that he put his hands on Joe? You know, what's gonna happen to him? Something might happen to him. You know, in a worse way. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be. I don't know. But as far as the NXT Championship, man, I don't know who's next for Kross. I don't know what's next for Kross. I don't even know who's next for Kross. That's the better thing. I don't even know who's next for Kross. And you know, man, Kross is another guy, man. That's gonna get called up. That's gonna get called up to the main roster, man, because he was on main event at one point. He fought Shelton Benjamin at one point on the main roster on a main event in a tape show, I think it was on main event. And so yeah, he walked out to the ring. He didn't even have Scarlett. Scarlett was not by his side, and so I was like, man, what are they doing? How that like, dude? How can you do a cross entrance without Scarlett? And then he even had the smoke. He even had the smoke either, bro. He had the smoke. He didn't have the girl Scarlett, man. They took away everything that was special about him, and so that's a foreshadowing, man. I'm telling you, it's a foreshadowing of what Kross is gonna look like on the main roster. They're gonna break up Scarlett and Kross. Dude, like they are a package deal. They are a package deal. You cannot break them up. You can't. You can't. You can't do that, man. Like everything that made Kross special, the entrance, the smoke, the girl, man. That's everything. Everything that made Kross special was his entrance. And you gonna take it away from him, man. You gonna take it away from him. But yeah, man. So yeah, I think that is what's next for Kross, man. They might force him, I guess, to relinquish the title or something like that. They might have him relinquish the title or vacate the title or something like that. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen. But maybe it does happen. I really don't see him losing. I really don't see him losing to anybody. He shouldn't. He should not lose to anybody. But if he's gonna go up to the main roster, he's gonna have to drop the title. He's gonna have to relinquish the title or vacate the title or something. The same thing that Asuka had did when she got called up to the main roster, or when she got called up to Monday Night Raw. It was she was undefeated. She was undefeated in NXT, and she was the NXT Women's Champion for that one reign. And she dropped the title. She had to drop the title. She had to relinquish the title. She never lost the title. Never lost the title. And so she got called up to Monday Night Raw. And, you know, the rest is history. She ended up losing to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. But, yeah, so Kross, he's doomed, man. He will, man. Like, Kross, man. Kross, I hope they don't do him wrong. I hope they do not do him wrong, man. Because he has the look, man. He has everything that you will want in a professional wrestler, man. He has the size. He has the ability. He has the promo ability. He has the in-ring skills. You know, yeah, like, dude, he's a perfect professional wrestler, man. Like, why? Like, how can you not do anything with Kross? Like, dude, don't change anything about him. Do not change nothing about him. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Because if you look at their track record, man, you look at WWE's track record, man, on the NXT call-ups, they change every single person that they called up. Like they tweak up everything. Like everything that they done in NXT, man, they change it on the main roster, man. They change it on the main roster. Like, dude, that's not how it's supposed to work, man. It's not how it's supposed to work. The purpose of NXT is to build up the talent so they're ready for the main roster. And then when they're down on the main roster, man, that's it. You don't do anything with them. You don't do nothing else with them. That's what NXT is for. But yeah, man, what's gonna happen with Kross for putting his hands on Joe? I don't know. But there will be repercussions, man. There will be repercussions for Kross putting his hands on Joe. And yeah, man, that's the questions. The question is on the show is what's next, man? What is next? That's the main question. What is next, man? What is next but Kross and all these other people, man, and their feuds and all that stuff. But yeah, yep, that was it, man. That was it with NXT. It was good, man. Good show. And yeah, man, that was pretty much it, man. NXT Championship match was probably the most important match on the show. I enjoyed the LA Knight and the Cameron Grimes skit. Cameron Grimes is a butler and all that stuff. I love that. And yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with NXT, man. That was it with NXT. And yeah, man. And that's the review, the NXT review for July 13th, 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, man. What are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then right next to that subscribe button is a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so we're the first ones to know my next video is uploaded, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit the thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. So this is the second week of AEW Dynamite with fans back. And so yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Dynamite. And if you missed my last week's review on NXT, the video is going to be right up here in this corner. And the link to that video will be down below in the description. So make sure you click this video or click down below in the link in the description if you missed anything. And yeah, follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for all the love and support on this show. Thank you, and thank you, man. And yeah, and this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday, man. And that's that.